Well, hi, I'm Jeff. Today, I'm going to go out and take a bike ride around town on a Lime bike and show you some of the highlights and some of the bike routes as we go around Nice. Come along, let's go for a ride. Follow all of the traffic lights just like cars do. Now we're coming up to the linear park. And the linear park has an interesting bike lane in that it's a two-way bike lane. It's like actually a street where bicycles can go both ways. And the difference is the actual street next to me is a one-way street. So we're following along the linear park here, headed down towards the promenade. There's actually an entrance to an underground garage there at Messina. Now this gets a little tricky because here at the Place Messina there's a lot more pedestrian traffic, so you have to weave your way through all the people walking. And avoid running over anybody on the pedestrian sidewalk. And again, we pick up the bike path as we get past Place Messina. And we're headed down to the promenade. little bumpies from time to time. Here we go. And again, now that we're at the promenade, we're on a two-way bike path. And it's laid out with, you drive on the right side, the other people coming towards you drive on the left side. So it's actually a fairly nice bike ride down here. Of course, there's some bicycle riders that are real bike riders, and they go a lot faster than me. But again, my bike, the Lime bikes all have electric assist. So as you pedal, it's very light pressure actually to pedal. But the Lime bikes are a great way to see the coast. I see there's somebody in one of those faster electric bikes. I'm just sort of a slow bicycle rider here on my first time out. This is where the bike path sort of zigs out onto the other part of the road. And they've actually closed down a piece of the road for car traffic. This road a long time ago was two-way traffic, but they directed traffic around this area to make it more pedestrian and made this the bike lane. See, it's wide enough, and again it's a two-lane bike lane, so that the street is one way, but by bicycle it's a two-lane. You can go both directions. Now a lot of bars down here at night will see the bicycles come back from downtown with people after a night out of hooping and hollering. They'll come back on the Lime bikes from downtown to where they live up in the apartment area. uphill a little bit, but again, because it's an electric bike, all you got to do is really move your feet. And the electric motor makes it all work. See, a lot of people came down to the beach on their bikes, and that's one of the nice things about a Lime bike. You just park it, you don't have to worry about locking it up, and then there's an app on your phone that gives you the location to find another bike to ride back. And with the app, you can actually, if one bike is near you, you can actually reserve that bike. By reserving that bike, it'll hold it for 10 minutes until you go pick it up. And of course, the Lime bikes have a basket in front. So you can pick some stuff up at the store and bring it home with you. But I gotta say, Nice is really set up to make getting around by bicycle or tram or even walking really easy. On the right up here is a red building. That was the first Airbnb we stayed in when we came to Nice. Right here at the port, and that convinced us that Nice was the place for us. We've made a turn here at the port area. We're on one of the back streets. Did this little turn to stay away from a lot of the car traffic. The only thing that I'm noticing that the Lime bike does not have is a mirror. So you can't really see who's behind you without turning all the way around. But I guess those are sort of fragile and would get broken off, so they didn't put rear view mirrors on bikes. Now here, just like all the other traffic, we got a one-way road coming up, which we cannot enter. So we have to go over here and take this road, because again, Nice is a town of hundreds of one-way streets. Great for walking, tough to navigate in a car. I think you have to almost always use your GPS to get around town because of all the one-way streets. looking for a street that takes us back to the left here. And this looks like our spot, because this is again our two-way bike route. Again, it's a two-way street that was closed down, made one way. We're heading up towards Garibaldi Square. A one-way street for cars, a two-way street for bicycles. And scooters, I guess. Straight ahead is Garibaldi Square. You have to follow the lights just like everything else. To get to the squares, it's a bicycle path, but there's a lot of pedestrians walking around, so you have to sort of keep a heads up so you don't run people over. And you don't want to get hit by a tram. That would make it a bad day. So we've got a little light over here that says red light for bicycles because the trams are coming by. So again, we've got a little red light for bicycles on the bicycle lane. So with the Lime bike, you've got two brakes, a front brake and a rear brake of the hand brake. And then there really isn't any twist grip throttle like on a motorcycle. sometimes traffic gets backed up. And when it does, the cars and the bicycles sort of zip down the sides to go around. Because of the construction here, got to sort of wiggle our way over to the bike route. And again, what they've done here is sort of decorated up the street. They put in bushes and trees and bike lanes. Now on this one, the bike lane is a single route. Because the street's a one-way street, it's a one-way bike lane. So by making the street all planters and pedestrian, it's made riding bikes much safer because you're actually not among the cars. So I gotta say, when it comes to riding a bike in Nice, as long as you're following the one-way streets, understand which way traffic's going, it's really easy to get around. right now we're on Rue de Poste. I have a feeling right now my dog's going to be mad when she sees this video, because up here on the right side is Junk Burger, her favorite place to get hamburgers. But we have to wean her off that. So her diet got a little too rich, so we had to hold back. So because parking is so hard to come by, delivery trucks just sort of park themselves wherever they want. That makes it a little bit of a difficulty to walk around town. We got a guy who's pulling a big wire across the road here. So again, with all the one-way streets, we have to go a couple more blocks here, and then we're going to wiggle to the right up to one of the nicer streets in town for two-way traffic. We're down by Gallery Lafayette at the moment. And away we go. We got a bicycle warning that the trams are going to run us over. And across the way, we got a tram and a delivery bike. Now we're back on a two-lane bike lane. I gotta say, if you got a bicycle, it's one of the better ways to get around town. It's actually a beautiful day. Temperatures in the high 60s. The sun is shining. There's people that ride bikes all the time. They're much faster than I am. I'm sort of taking it slow and easy here on my first time. And again, sometimes there's places where the delivery boys sort of like just park it wherever they can. Because parking is so hard to come by. So what you have to do is just sort of walk slowly around them. Give them the hairy eyeball. And keep on going. But as you can see, they took this city street, put a landscape buffer down the middle, made it a one-way traffic for cars. I gotta tell you, if you're in a car, it's sort of hard to get around. We want to sort of make cars not seen in town. We want you to walk, use a scooter, use a bicycle. They want to see more pedestrian traffic. We're out here in an area called Gambetta. Gambetta Buffer. Now the nice part about Gambetta is Gambetta Street has been closed to car traffic. And it's basically for buses and bicycles. So again, we got our red light for bicycles. Now in Gambetta, we've got again the city street closed down, buses and buses, and bicycles and bicycles. Again, the cars, they just limit the access for cars. But on a bicycle, it's an easy way to get around town. Coming up on the Alsace-Lorraine tram station here. So in the handlebars, they built in a bicycle bell. You can ring the bell when you think you got the right of way. But in a bicycle, it's always good to be cautious and let the other people go, so that they don't run you over. Thing that the motorcycles like to do is they like to use the bike lane to cut around traffic. So you'll see them zip up the bike lane a lot of times to go around traffic when there are traffic lights. Because we're on one-way streets, anytime somebody decides to park, it backs up all the other cars on the one-lane street. Or somebody makes a right turn in front of you. I gotta say, I like riding a bike. It's a great way to get around town. And there's a lot of the bike culture here, with the Tour de France and the Iron Man, and there's a Nice to Paris bike race. And with that, I've made it to the end of my bike ride. And I'll be parking my bike back where I picked it up. I hope you enjoyed that little ride around Nice. And I think if you're here, you ought to check it out. Take it easy for the first trip. Don't need to go too fast or too far. But I think you'll like it. So this was my super sophisticated selfie stick taped to the handlebars in order to record my video today. I know you're all very impressed. So one of the ways that Nice has made it easy for bikes in town is they've got these bike stations that have a pump to pump up your tire to increase your pressure. They've got the tools attached to make adjustments in case during a bike ride you got trouble with something. Got screwdrivers, wrenches, tires, everything you need, and a rack. This is called the Deluxe Public Work Stand for bicycles. So, as you can see, Nice truly is a town where bicycles are welcome. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video about taking a bike ride here in Nice. If you'd like to subscribe, use the QR code here and give me a thumbs up. It helps my algorithm grow. And if you have comments, leave them down below. I'd love to see what your comments are about my ride around town. And I hope you come to town and enjoy a bike ride through Nice. Bye for now.